What's going on, guys? This is Bobby Douglas. Welcome to another 2021 NBA Draft Prospect full game video breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Duke forward Jalen Johnson. Johnson only played 13 games for Duke this year. He battled a lot of injuries throughout the year, and then he ultimately left Duke early at around mid-February to prepare for the NBA draft. But he did show a lot of playmaking ability for his size at around 6'9", 220. He has good defensive instincts when he puts in the effort, and so he is an interesting prospect. Right now, I have him at 14th on my big board, so just sneaking into the lottery. He's going to be number 1 in the white right here, and this game is against Clemson. He's going to finish with 9 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. So kind of just all around the stat sheet in this game. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one, and let's go. Jalen Johnson. So again, number 1, let's see if he wins this tip-off. He does against Amir Sims. So again, he's a pretty good vertical athlete. He's actually going to have a really good dunk in this game. We've gotten really lucky with the dunks that these prospects have had. Keon Johnson obviously had like a monster one. And then yesterday, Scotty Barnes had a few pretty good ones as well. And so you can see right here, so one of the bigger knocks on Johnson right out of the bat is that he tends to go for the home run play a little bit too much. He's a good passer. He's a good playmaker. He sees the floor well. But sometimes he has a little bit of like LaMelo Ball wannabe syndrome, right, where he wants to make these really flashy passes. So like right here, it's a good read actually, and I could see what he's trying to do here, but the behind the back thing, tight window, probably not the smartest decision. It's going to be a deflection. It's going to be Duke ball still, but just kind of those things he needs to clean up a little bit. But again, like that raw passing vision, those playmaking chops are definitely present with Johnson. Interesting guy though. I mean, caught a lot of shit for leaving Duke early. Personally, I didn't really care a whole lot about that. Some guys did. Others worry about his time at IMG Academy. When he was a senior in high school, he was supposed to play for IMG. He ends up just leaving and going back to his high school in suburban Milwaukee. I think it's called Nicollet. And, he caught a lot of questions there about, like, what happened at IMG. And so there are some, off-court, questions about him and his character, his motor, but overall I think he's a pretty good basketball player. I think he'll be a good NBA player. Obviously he needs to work on his shot and answer any character questions that may arise, but I'm pretty excited about his NBA future, I would say, as I am with pretty much all these first round guys. It's all the first round this year I kind of I kind of like all the guys I have in my first round right now. I think they all have legit NBA upside. So right here, you're going to see Jalen Johnson just totally get lost. It looks like he wanted to switch something, and then, something weird happened, no communication. Clemson's going to miss this shot. This is what I mean, just the inconsistent effort, right? So you can see right here, Wendell Moore is telling Johnson to go over there and cover, and Johnson's just going to kind of, shrug it off, right? So, that kind of thing, his body language at times wasn't the best. Things like that. And then offensively, though, so right here, for example, so again, he can draw the defender in, and because he can see over the defense, he can find open shooters. He's really good in transition. Transition basketball, he can get up the floor really well. He's a rip and run candidate, so he can grab rebounds and then immediately initiate the fast break. Really good at that, as we kind of saw right there. He's being tasked with guarding Amir Sims, who's probably one of the more experienced ACC players this past season. And you could see Johnson's kind of getting worked in the post. He's trying to front him, can't really get around him. He's getting out-battled for rebounds. So I think just kind of his toughness, I think, could be questioned a little bit with Johnson. And just, but I want to see him with a better, frame. I need him to get stronger, things like that, before I can really evaluate his overall mindset, because sometimes he just kind of gets tossed around, and he probably shouldn't, because he actually is pretty built, and he can hold his ground well when he wants to. But he just sometimes is a little bit too easy for him to just kind of just get out of position and go where the opponent wants him to go. You got a deflection here. And so again, this is a schematic thing. But when I was watching this game initially, I was super confused, right? Because Johnson's a good enough athlete where he can play level with this screen. So it must be a Duke thing where he's dropping. Even so, why is he dropping so low? Amir Sims is a good shooter. You can see right here he's rolling, but if he's going to pop out eventually, that's going to be an open three. And so right there, he does a nice job staying with Sims because he kind of just, they kind of lull Clemson into that, pick and roll. But Sims is still going to finish it. And again, Johnson right here, kind of like the Olay Matador defense, just kind of straight up, doesn't move his feet. And so just kind of like those types of plays. Amir Sims, the more experienced veteran player, taking advantage of Johnson, who again at this point probably has under 10 college games under his belt. So that's just kind of like a clear deficiency with Johnson, I would say. Just, he plays very young at times, where some of these freshmen seem kind of wise beyond their years. Johnson, you could see him making a lot of freshman mistakes. He'll get caught ball watching. He'll get beat backdoor, things like that. Offensively, he'll make the home run play a little bit too often. Sometimes gets sped up. So you can see right here, again, the drop coverage, and this time Amir Sims is going to pop, and then look at how much ground Johnson has to cover, right? And I wonder if this is a schematic thing, right? And so Sims misses the shot. Johnson actually gave a pretty good late contest, but just why is he playing so deep in drop coverage, right? I just don't understand that, because he does have the athleticism and like lateral quickness to be playing closer up to the ball screen. So things like that, I'm just a little bit confused about. That might be a Duke thing. I'm not sure. I admittedly didn't watch a whole lot of Duke this year. They weren't that good. So I usually only watch good college basketball teams, and Duke wasn't one. So forgive me if I'm wrong. If there are any Dukies out there, and you could tell me like what their ball screen coverage was in terms of their base coverage, please do. But it just kind of confuses me that you have such a good athlete in Johnson, and he's playing drop coverage. He's playing more like a big rather than like a wing, where I think like he needs to find success on the wing, because in the post he's really just not that strong just yet. So it's just interesting to see. And again, they are kind of using him as like a small ball 5, especially in their starting lineup, because Hurt's more of a 4. And so it is interesting to see how Duke has been using him. I would personally use him as kind of like a small ball 4, put him in the dunker spot, put him in short rolls, things like that. But you can see right here, so again, like Amir Sims, Johnson's going to try and front him, right? And he just can't get around him. Sims is doing a really good job sealing him off. And then this pass is there if they can find it, but Clemson can't. And, Amir Sims is kind of just working Johnson around. So it's kind of difficult for him to really get a good angle defensively. So again, like that'll come with experience, learning how to manipulate those defensive angles, get into better position defensively. But again, right now, it's clear that he doesn't really have a whole lot of game experience at the college level. So again, right there, I kind of like that action, DHO for Hurt, and then Johnson's kind of like a staggered roll. And again, I kind of think that's how you should use him, dunker spot, short roll, things like that. And we got a missed 3, and here comes Clemson. We got let's see, Johnson's going to be on the ball now. Nope. And again, another weird drop coverage. That time, Goldwire does a really nice job getting through that screen. And then Johnson's just able to pick off Sims and box him out. So that was better. Again, I don't know why Clemson just isn't attacking it with a pick and pop every single time. If Johnson's going to play that deep, I think it's pretty easy to exploit that. We got, I believe Johnson's going to be in the high post. Let's see what he does here. So again, not much going on. Again, like he kind of gets Giannis sometimes, where teammate or opponents will kind of disrespect the shot. They will kind of let him dribble around a little bit, knowing that his handle really isn't developed yet. And I believe Johnson's out right here, and he's in at 10:22. So I'll skip ahead here. Yeah, so we got 13 minutes left in this first half here. And so Johnson's now on number 1 for Clemson. The only player I know on Clemson is Amir Sims. He was a guy that I looked at last year before he withdrew from the draft. But he was a guy that I had my eye on. This year, not as much, given that I'm kind of limiting the scope of players so I could get more like depth rather than breadth. And here's Johnson with the ball in his hands. Again, so right here, can't really get that angle around, but he does have like a good first or second dribble. And he can kind of exploit closeouts, things like that. But he does need to improve his handling. He needs to improve his jump shot a lot if he wants to be like the player that he can become given his frame. And you can see right there, defensively, when he's locked in, and this is going to be a monster, like, holy shit, right? Okay, so let's rewind this. So this is probably one of his most impressive and promising possessions, or sequences, from his tape. Okay, so he's able to use his length, and he jumps this passing lane really well, right? So right here, like, this is an insane deflection and ultimately an insane steal. And then right there, he's shot out of a cannon, right? And bang, just finishes, like, jumps basically over the guy, mean mugs him, whatever, and, like, the athleticism is apparent there, right? So, again, those are the types of plays where NBA scouts are kind of just like, okay, you know what, we can probably work with him. So that's, like, ridiculous. Not everybody can do that, obviously. We got a free throw here. You got to make thy throws. He does. So, yeah, that's like, the type of play, like, the steal into the fast break, the initiation of transition offense for your team. He can be a one-man fast break if needed. And we got a moving screen on Clemson. So those are the types of plays where you kind of see the full Johnson potential. And then obviously in odd man situations and even man ones too, like he can create open shots for teammates by drawing defenders in and kicking out to open shooters, open runners, things like that. So again, like offensively in transition, he looks like a totally different player than he does in the half court. In the half court, he's very stagnant, very shaky, very mechanical. But in transition, you could just kind of, there's like a switch that gets flipped in his head, and he's just a lot more fluid, a lot more confident, and ultimately just like a more dynamic player. You got that alley-oop right there. I think that's either Coleman or Williams. I think it's Williams, right? I don't know. Regardless, nice little play there. Mark Williams, yeah. Again, so Johnson right here. Good job being in help coverage. Right there, he's kind of monitoring his man. But again, right here, you can kind of see, so he kind of loses sight of his man, and he's just not boxing him out. And his man actually gets a tip, just can't finish it. But then Johnson's going to grab the rebound, and immediately he's running the floor. It's a 5-on-4. Let's see what he does here. Decent pass, kind of got stuck. The lane kind of clogged on him. Not really his fault. But you can see right there, just kind of, again, just kind of like the shaky. You can see how, like, if he gets into tight spaces or he's kind of contested, he kind of freezes up a little bit. So, like, right here, he's kind of caught in between throwing the alley-oop or shooting. It looks like a shot. Maybe he has the alley-oop, but again, like, you can't really tell. So, like, just kind of, like, using his skills in transition and translating them to a half-court, game, I think that should be a big development curve for him. As we got, that's Mike Schmitz. He's probably going to talk Jalen Johnson. I believe he's still in for another few minutes here. Yeah, so they got Mike Schmitz talking Jalen Johnson. At this point, they had him ranked 6th. I was never that high on him, I would say. I was probably, beginning of the year, I was probably like as high as 8 with him. And then as the season went on, you can see right there, again, like he's playing out of position here. It's tough to guard Amir Sims. But you can see right here, he gets easily sealed off, and this pass is right here. Clemson just can't connect on it. Like, that's a pass that will be made at the NBA level. And so he needs to do a better job, like, just kind of standing his ground when he's in those situations, and then just kind of being able to disrupt or deny entry passes. And that'll come with lower body strength, things like that. And then see how he does in the post here. Again, solid kick out right there, just not really forcing anything. And we got a missed floater. So again, the half-court offense is just a little bit shaky. But again, gets his own rebound. He's a very good rebounder for his size, too. Average around 6 a game. In this game, he's going to have 8. And then he's able to just grab offensive rebounds and kick out to open shooters because his vision is very good. So you can see, two-way player A. Probably give him a B+. I think if he wants to be an A, he can be an A, but sometimes his effort's a little bit inconsistent. Versatility, I agree, that's an A. Court vision, B+. I'd probably say the same thing, too. So, pretty similar evaluations by me and Schmitz. Great minds think alike. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think that's pretty fair from Schmitz based on what I've seen of him. And here he is in the post. So again, right there, that's pretty good defense right there. So again, he was in better position, right? Is able to kind of use his chest to bump Amir Sims off a little bit. And again, good contest, goes straight up, meets him at the summit, Looks like Amir Sims wants that little hand foul. And if you can get away with that in the NBA, that's a huge advantage. But Johnson does a nice job defensively right there. And again, like the versatility defensively that he does have potential to be, right? That's a legit NBA skill, right? So you look at him and you have like the athleticism, the versatility, the floor vision. He's very similar to Scottie Barnes, who we looked at yesterday. I like Scottie Barnes a little bit more just because I think his defense is a little bit better and more consistent. But Johnson's right in that mold of like kind of these jumbo versatile like playmaking forwards, right? It's kind of a new position. It's not really like it's not like a playmaking wing. Like it's not like a Luka situation, but it's more of like a kind of like a Draymond type player, they've gotten more popular over the years as well. So it's kind of interesting, just kind of seeing the evolution of certain positions and certain players of various sizes. Looks like we got a trip here. We got Johnson still in. Yeah. Again, he's kind of in that weak side, roaming in that area. Not much going on. So right here, I would like to see him like kind of like flash across the lane. Maybe try and get a post touch. But it just is strange how much of a different player he is in the half court versus transition. Because in the half court, like, so again, right here, like, holy shit. Like, this is why I'm not giving him an A for defense, right? Like, this is really bad, okay? Right here, just like, how does this happen, right? Wide open backdoor cut. This is probably one of the worst defensive plays in these breakdowns. Not the most consistent, but like, holy shit, right? Way too easy, and he's going to get dunked on, too. Like, that can't happen. And again, that's why I'm not giving him an A in defensive awareness or just, like, overall defense, because right there, that's, like, really bad. You can't get beat backdoor, and that's what I talked about, where it's, like, he has the potential, but just sometimes, like, the mental aspect isn't all the way there. He loses focus, gets caught ball watching. But then he does a nice little back cut there, actually. He kind of shows awareness as a cutter right here. Back cuts this guy. Good pass from, I think that's, I don't know who that is. I think that's Wendell Moore. And again, he's just in their lane. Can't get it to finish. He's a decent finisher, but tends to avoid contact. So that kind of right there, I just think he kind of just, babied it a little bit. But again, so like just kind of, hit and miss with Johnson. You're going to have decent plays like we saw when he jumped the passing lane and finished with a really good dunk. Then you're going to have plays like that where he just totally falls asleep and allows a backdoor cut for an easy dunk as well. So kind of just like the yin and yang of Jalen Johnson. That's why I'm a little bit lower on him, just because I'm not sure if the effort is fully there or the awareness. Plus, obviously, all the off-court stuff that I think needs to be taken into account, even though I said they're not that serious, in my view, just based on what I've read and stuff. But, just kind of those things. He is out right here, and then he's in like 7 minutes of YouTube time, so I'll skip ahead here. 25, 40, 50. There we go. But yeah, so and then honestly, like the body language I think could be better. And Duke I think played better when he wasn't on the floor, which is also another kind of interesting little thing. So again, there are just a lot of those types of plays, and you can see right here, like, what is he doing, right? So again with this deep drop coverage, right? And so if he's supposed to contain it, right? Like, what is he doing? Like, I wonder if DJ Stewart, like, he thought DJ Stewart was going to come from behind, but he gets frozen. He doesn't know whether to take Sims or the handler. He should be taking the handler because Stewart's, like, a few steps behind. This should just be a switch. Johnson's not even going to give a contest, and it's going to be an easy layup. And you can see, like, Stewart's just like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I mean? So, again, he's had a few plays in this game where, like, the defense just isn't really there. The effort's not there. And so that's why, like, I disagree with Schmitz. Like, this is not an A+ or A level defender just yet. He can be. I think he has all the tools. He's good in switches. It's just, the awareness just isn't there yet. So again, they're in the drop coverage, and right there, he's just getting exposed, right? So again, they're like attacking Jalen Johnson in these drop coverages, right? Right here, like, he kind of gets beat by Sims. Whoops. Kind of gets beat by Sims, right? And then it's just kind of like where's the contest? So it's just kind of weird that he's just doing all this stuff. Yeah, I'm just a little bit not concerned, but I am just I'm concerned. I'm officially concerned. These have not been good defensive sequences for Johnson. So again, right there, good cut, good instinctual cut. So like this is a good instinctual cut as I mentioned. So here we go. Again, sees Sims has to go over to help, and again, this is a nice little curl. I think there's a foul, or I think it's a charge before. Oh no, block. Okay, block before Johnson. Good cut, can't finish on the alley-oop, but it wouldn't count anyway. Let's see if he's out for a little bit here. Yeah, he's out again. So I will skip ahead to 29:44. Final 2.5 minutes here. Johnson's in for the next, he's out for the last, 2 seconds, I think, in the first half. I don't know why. I can't recall. Clemson's in a zone right now. You can see Johnson's in the middle of it. And again, right here, that's the type of playmaking where I think he's really just good. So this is kind of like a transition situation because it's an odd man situation, right? It's a smaller game at this point, right? So he's not having to worry about full 5-on-5 action, trying to break down a defender and then make a play. Right here, he just gets the ball in an advantageous area, and immediately he sees this rim runner. I think that's Mark Williams. And again, the alley-oop pass is a little bit behind Williams, but it's still a very good read. Smart, takes his time, and so when he's in those situations, he's a lot more comfortable than when he just kind of has to go and attack 5-on-5 or 4-on-5 or things like that. So again, right here, he's on the ball. And again, I think he moves his feet well on the ball. Again, right there, another really just kind of knowing when to pick your spots, right? So usually I would tell him to not help one pass away, but because of that length, he's just able to snag this thing. And again, just another steal. Let's see what happens here. Johnson, going to be an and one. So we now have, he has 5 points right now, 2 and ones. All of his points have come off of his own steal and then into transition, right? So what does he do well? He gets his hands on passing lanes. He steals the ball. He can block shots as well. He averaged around 1.2 blocks a game this year. And then he can get the ball, immediately run into transition, and then finish, right? That's where he's at his best. Unfortunately, this Duke team didn't really get a whole lot of chances to run as he misses that free throw. But then I think, did he get the offensive rebound here? I think Williams did. I just want to replay this really quick. No, he didn't. No, yeah, it was Goldwire. Okay. But again, all of his baskets have come off of his own steal and then running in transition. So that should give you kind of an idea of what he's most comfortable with offensively. He has a long way to go just in terms of his, half-court skill development. His handle needs work. Obviously the shot needs work. We haven't seen him shoot a jump shot yet. He was only I believe a 63.2% free throw shooter. That's not going to cut it. And so, he shot 44.4% from 3. But I put that in quotes because he only shot 18 threes this season, right? So the free throw indicator is probably a little bit more, telling of what type of a shooter he'll be early. You see right here, again, I do like how he's kind of like a quarterback here, right? So he's going to get the ball. He's looking for the seal. Doesn't really see it there. Then he's looking for the corner. Probably could have gotten this pass off the Goldwire. But then he ultimately makes the safe choice and gets it to, I think that's, I want to say that Brakefield. Wendell Moore, excuse me. We got Clemson ball off the shot clock violation. And again, so you could argue that Johnson maybe missed a few there, but I do like that he's kind of acknowledging those open passes, right? He's looking through his progressions. Again, kind of like a quarterback. Let's see what he does here. Not much going on. Again, Johnson running in transition, kind of is like a flyer down the floor. Final 30 seconds here. We got a timeout. this should be the last Duke offensive possession in the half. Johnson's going to set the ball screen, and again, I think he'll be good in this situation, like these kind of wing, off-centered ball screens, right? So again, he sets a pretty good screen here, gets Wendell Moore open, right? It's just, again, like this is what Jalen Johnson should be doing defensively, playing closer to the level of the screen. I digress. And again, he's able to roll, and I think he could be a pretty good roller just because he can be kind of like this secondary lob threat. He can make passes out of the short roll. So I think the early success for him will come in the short roll, in transition, and just being like a secondary creator, or maybe even a tertiary one. In the half court, he's not going to be as dynamic, but if he can get out and run, then that's where you're going to kind of see the explosiveness that he does have. Right here, Johnson's going to go up with it. Looks like that's just kind of like a jumbled possession. Not much Johnson could really do there. And he's going to go out for the last 2.6 seconds here. I don't really know why. But alas, that's the end of the first half video. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. We saw a lot of different things from Johnson. Defensively, we saw some areas where he needs work. Offensively, we saw him do really well in transition. And we kind of see like the hot and cold nature of him as a whole, as a player. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the second half, which will be coming out soon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And remember, if you have any players that you want to see sooner rather than later, I am booked through Saturday. But then I'm already taking requests for next week. So I think Mike Steinitz, I think, he actually requested book night, and I already got him on the schedule for Monday. So any player you want to see earlier rather than later, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon for part 2. Bye.